Welcome to the Great Plains Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. My name is Jasmine. I'm going to serve as your facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our amazing presenters at any point throughout our session today. Second, your camera and microphone are off, so we are unable to see or hear you. Third, this is just one of many different sessions that we're offering, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, this presentation is being recorded. You'll have access to that recording within about a week or so. With that said, I want to introduce our first presenter, Belmont University.
Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Lily Scott, and I am an admissions counselor at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. And I am so excited to get to share Belmont with you all this evening. So my name is Lily, and I am the counselor for both Oklahoma and for Nebraska. And my colleague, John Paul Murray, is the counselor for Kansas. So we are so excited to help you navigate the college process. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. If you've never seen our campus, we are less than 2 miles from downtown Nashville. We have a pretty compact campus, so it takes about 10-15 minutes to walk from one end of campus to the other. So we, as you can see in this picture, we don't have any major roads running through the middle of our campus. So we're in a super great location, lots of walkable, fun neighborhoods that are close by. Want to share a quick few fun facts with you all about the university. So we have about 8,200 total students, so about 6,630 undergraduate students. Even though we have continued to grow over the last years, we've still maintained a small class average class size. So our average class size is 19 students, with 80% of our students having less than 30 students. We have a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We have students coming from all over the country, from every state and over 28 countries to Nashville to study at Belmont, and over 67% of our students come from outside of Tennessee. Now, in this fair this evening, I want to share 6 top things to know about Belmont in your college search process. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Nashville. Nashville is such a fabulous city. Like I said, we are less than 2 miles from downtown. You know, Nashville is Music City, so we are right by Music Row. We are also the healthcare capital of the United States. So 3/4 of the nation's hospitals are serviced in some way by a company out of Nashville. We are so excited to be adding to the healthcare industry and opening a college of medicine here in the next few years. We are also fashion capital, so we're the 3rd largest city with the most fashion industry-based headquarters here in Nashville. The next thing I want to talk about is that we are a liberal arts institution. We have over 100 different programs of study that our students can pursue. Each year we continue to add new majors. We'll talk a little bit about some of our top majors, but those different majors are spread out over 9 different academic colleges. We have lots of great pre-professional programs, including some 3+3, 4+1, where you can cut down on some of your schooling time. We have lots of great opportunities for our students to be involved in internships. And a lot of programs you can start doing internships the summer after your freshman year. We have over 160 different student organizations that our students can be a part of. So there's so many great ways to get involved around campus. Our top majors are going to be music business, nursing, and audio engineering technology. So we want to reflect what's happening in the city on our campus. We are a Christian university, and so if you are interested in growing and pursuing your faith during your time at college, we have so many ways that you can get involved. Though we are a Christian university, we welcome students of all faith backgrounds or no faith backgrounds. Our students do have 2 required religion courses that they take. Now, about what it looks like to apply. We are test optional for 2021 and 2022. So we do not want any of our students to be at a disadvantage because they were unable to test in the middle of all this craziness. So you can choose if you want to send in test scores to us. Otherwise, we'll need an application, your transcript, and a school counselor letter of recommendation. We are open for in-person visits. So we would love to have you come and visit campus here in Nashville. So we have a weekday campus visit program where students can come and see what campus looks like. You can come and do an admissions information session, a campus tour, a res life session. You can do an academic session. So we would love for you to come and see our campus. So be sure to check out those different opportunities to visit us here in Nashville, both in person or online. We also have those great virtual opportunities. So we look forward to welcoming you. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any other questions about what opportunities look like at Belmont. And thank you so much for tuning in with us this evening.
Thank you, Belmont. Up next, we have Wichita State University.
Good evening, y'all. My name is Chandra Crawley, and I represent Wichita State University. I am actually the regional representative, so I don't live in Kansas, but I live close enough by, and I did make Wichita State my college home, so I'm excited to get to talk to you a little bit more about Wichita State. We are located in Wichita, Kansas, so we are, as you can see, Kansas's only research university, and we're in an urban setting, which is super exciting, just because that affords you to have so many different internship and co-op opportunities that you may not have elsewhere. You have so many amenities available to you in our city, but we have about 15,500 shockers on campus each year. So it's a really nice mid-sized campus. There's always someone new to meet, but you also kind of make some friends and get to know people that are in some of your similar classes. So with that, we have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio. I definitely felt like everybody was really personable, professors included. If I had to get help or if they just wanted to chat, they know my name, which was really nice. And you can see about 90% of our classes have fewer than 49 students. So that was a really big part of that too. You see Hippodrome, Shocktoberfest, and Convocation. Those are just a few of our traditions that we have on campus. They're a really great opportunity to meet new people and really compete. We have a really fun competitive edge on campus, just kind of for bragging rights, nothing too serious, but some really great things going on there. And then you can see more than 180 student organizations. So there's plenty to get involved in. We actually just put up a hammock location, so you can go rent a hammock and hang out there, and there is like a napping club, all kinds of different things. There's Greek life, so if you're looking for that sorority or fraternity experience, you can get that with us. You also see that we have about 38% of our students coming from diverse backgrounds, and about 40% of our students are first generation. So those are both things we like to celebrate. Our professors and staff really like to, let you know if they're first generation as well, just so you can approach them and things like that. So that's really neat. But being the largest city in Kansas really does afford you so many opportunities for business partnerships. So we like to start those things as early as your sophomore year of college, getting you experience, making you money in most cases, all that good stuff. Moving on. So like I was kind of talking about that applied learning piece and having those experiences right there in the city of Wichita. And you can see like NASA. There is no NASA in Wichita, but we do have those great connections for you. So if you had an internship opportunity that took you outside of Wichita for a summer or a semester, that's definitely an option for you. You can see some big money earned by our students, so close to $5 million in about 1,100 internships. And then over $8 million in over 2,000 on-campus positions. So whether you are looking to dive right in and get started with your kind of career path, building that resume so that you're ready to jump into a job after graduation, or if you're just like, hey, I just want to grab a job, that's not a problem to do on campus. Again, big money to be made with these positions. So some of our more popular majors are listed here. We do have over 70, but some of those would be aerospace engineering or any engineering really. All of our business programs are super strong. In fine arts, we have popular programs from musical theater and dance all the way over to like our media arts, which is animation, audio production, filmmaking, and game design. Our criminal justice and forensic science programs are popular. If you wanted to be a teacher, that's a really good option for us as well. Our nursing program is strong, or if you're looking ahead at the graduate programs of like PT or PA school, Those are phenomenal at Wichita State. We also work with, the pre-med, the pre-vet, pre-law, all of those things. And then dental hygiene, social work, sport management are some of our other popular majors. And then I always like to mention the Honors College just because we have that. And if you wanted to, you could even have an honors major, which is pretty neat. As far as admission, we're super simple. If you have a 2.25 unweighted GPA, that's automatic admission, or a 21 on the ACT or a 1080 on the SAT would be automatic for you. To get admitted, it's a pretty simple process, wichita.edu/apply or the Common App, and there is a $40 application fee. We like you to self-report your grades and test scores if you have test scores. We are test optional this year, so if you don't have those test scores, not a problem, and moving forward as well. We do have some big scholarship competitions that you'll definitely want to check out if you're a junior or below. You can see kind of some of the criteria there. You just have to have one of those in order to compete in some big competitions. Keep in mind with us, we do have some early scholarship deadlines, so you don't want to miss out on that. Housing is such an awesome thing at Wichita State. Shocker Hall is typically where freshmen live, and the suites at the bottom is another option, but we're all suite style. They're all less than 7 years old, so you really got to check out our housing at Wichita State. It's such a great experience. And then if you have the opportunity to come for a visit, whether it's virtual or on campus, you'll get a little bit more out of it than what I'm telling you tonight, just kind of going through 6 minutes. Get to hear from a current student with the tour and all of that good stuff. That most popular is going to be our individual campus visit, but we do have some great events as well. We're kind of hosting virtual and in person, all kinds of good things. So keep us in mind for that. It's a really awesome campus visit. Students really love it. Lastly, if you want to get in touch with us, definitely feel free. We can put you in touch with your specific admissions representative. But check out any of the links that you see here. Thanks so much for coming. Have a great night.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Concordia.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Jefferson. I'm one of the undergraduate admissions counselors here at Concordia University, Chicago. And I've just got a few slides that I want to go through today. So really quickly, Concordia University, Chicago is a small liberal arts school about 10 miles straight west of downtown Chicago. 1 second, there we go. This might overshoot. I was having a little bit of troubles with the presentation, but anyways, so yeah, we're about 10 miles west of downtown Chicago. You can see the skyline there in the background in this image, but that means that you're going to have a very, very well balanced education experience here at CUC. Basically, within a 20 to 25 minute train ride away, you'll have all the culture, food, entertainment, music that Chicago has to offer, but you'll actually be learning and focusing and growing as a student in a pretty small, kind of quiet suburban area, like I said, in River Forest, Illinois. Our most popular majors. So right away, I'll say we're most known for our College of Education. A lot of people come here to be teachers, but beyond that, we have a really strong psychology program, sports management, exercise science, and actually our computer science program is one of the best in the Midwest right now. We've actually gone to competitions and placed in the top 5 nationally, as well as placed very high internationally in the past 4 years. So our computer science program is slowly becoming a very, very strong program. And then lastly, the health sciences. So you've heard from a few other presenters today about those STEM programs, and here are health sciences rooted in chemistry, biology, and all of those good things. Those are really going to prepare you for those master's programs going on after your undergrad experience. We have a ton of ways to get involved at CUC. So over 45 clubs and organizations on campus, which are going to include 11 different choral and instrumental music ensembles. So whether you're looking to go into a larger, wind symphony or capella choir, or kind of looking to do a smaller ensemble like handbells or some of our smaller choral ensembles, you can get involved with those. Intramural sports, so if you don't want to get involved with our D3 athletic events, which we'll talk about on the next slide, you can join an ultimate frisbee team or a volleyball team or basketball with your friends and kind of do a little bit more of a casual competition that way. But beyond that, our campus activities boards, our Black and Latino student union groups, as well as our spiritual life groups are very prominent on campus. So you're going to get a ton of opportunities to really build that community and meet new people along the way. So here it is, that athletic slide. So we are an NCAA Division III school. We have 19 D3 athletic teams as of now. We just added a stunt competitive cheer and stunt team, as well as a dance team just this semester. So next year will be the first full year that we have that team. But from there, it rounds out that 19 team sort of repertoire. So if you can imagine anything basically that you are probably involved in high school, we're gonna have here at Concordia. So your next steps, I can't stress this enough. If you are a senior going into, or if you're looking to start college in the fall of 2021, your first step will be to apply, send us your official high school transcripts, and make sure our FAFSA code is on that FAFSA. If you're a junior, sophomore, freshman, whatever you might be, your application will open the July before your senior year begins. And again, send us your transcripts. You'll file the FAFSA in October. And then from there, again, all of the presenters have said this so far, and I can't stress this enough, set up a campus tour. You'll be able to meet with me, your admissions counselor. You can meet with a coach, meet with a professor, talk about financial aid with our financial aid office. No matter what it is, we'll be able to get that set up for you when you're on campus. But yeah, we are hosting in-person visits right now. So no matter where you're coming from, we'd love to have you on campus as soon as possible. Now, a large part of that admissions process are the scholarships. And when you send us your high school transcripts, we will evaluate those and award you a merit scholarship. For this year, for the fall 2021, those awards were anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000, which is over half of your tuition, fees, and room and board. From there, we have a few other mission-specific awards. We are an institution rooted in the Lutheran Church of Missouri Synod, so there are some awards that are attached to that heritage. We also have music scholarships, a Trailblazer Award, which is for our first-gen students, and a few other just kind of marginal awards along the way that we'll talk to you about. But again, the big part of your financial aid package is going to be this merit scholarship that's based on your unweighted GPA. So every class matters right now. Really make sure you're working hard because that's going to pay off in the end. Lastly, just why choose Concordia? So I talked about kind of that residential, or excuse me, that suburban kind of small campus feel of the university. Right now, our student to faculty ratio is about 15 to 17 students per one professor. So you're going to get that very personalized attention when you're in our classes. You're going to get to actually know your professors, and that's a huge part of our community. But from there, post-undergrad success. So 90% of our students within 6 months of graduating are either in a job that they're pursuing or in a master's program they're looking to get into. So we do not mess around when it comes to getting you into that next step after college. So yeah, feel free to connect with us. Pretty much, if you Google Concordia University Chicago, our information comes up right away. So let us know how we can help. But yeah, otherwise, go Cougars and have a great rest of your night.
Thank you, CUC. Up next, we have the new school.
Hello, hello. All right, thanks so much for joining us here tonight. So my name is Caitlin. I'm an admissions counselor at the new school, and I also am an alumna of the photography program at Parsons. So the new school was founded in 1919, and it's a private university in the heart of New York City that's comprised of 5 colleges. So our traditional undergraduate options are found at Eugene Line College of Liberal Arts, where students study the natural sciences, humanities, and performative practices. Parsons School of Design is where students can study art, design, and business. And the College of Performing Arts is where our students study classical, jazz, and contemporary music and the dramatic arts. And along with all of these programs, we also have a Parsons School of Design campus in Paris as well. New school students, no matter their area of focus, benefit from being part of a larger, comprehensive university that really celebrates innovative and interdisciplinary studies. Our community is in the heart of Greenwich Village in Lower Manhattan, New York, and consists of about 10,000 students, 8,000 of which are undergraduate students. We have representation from all 50 states, and over 30% of our population is made up of international students. If you have interests that span schools and programs, there's no need to worry about that because students do have a number of ways to explore across disciplines. So we do have a BA, BFA pathway that's designed for students who want a comprehensive education in both liberal arts as well as the music arts or visual arts. This is a 5-year program that culminates in both a BA from Eugene Lang College of Liberal Arts as well as a BFA from either Parsons School of Design or the School of Jazz and Contemporary Music at our College of Performing Arts. All undergraduate students can choose from more than 50 university minors in a variety of disciplines. Some popular minors include communication design, psychology, and creative entrepreneurship. The new school houses the largest performance venue in Lower Manhattan, Tishman Auditorium, and we have 4 on-campus libraries, 4 residence halls, and over 4,000 square feet of exhibition space, not to mention our making center, which spans 3 floors and boasts a print shop, a ceramic studio, a photo cage, and a large open kinetic classroom space, 3D printers, a laser lab, and a 16-camera motion capture studio with a green screen. And all of these facilities are available to students within any of the universities at the new school. And as you can see here on the left, this is a map of our campus. So our campus is integrated into the city. So most of our buildings can be found right on 5th Avenue near Union Square Park and Washington Square Park, which is where a lot of NYU's campus is located. And on the right here, you'll see our university center. So the new school is test optional. We'll be reviewing each applicant with a holistic process that really takes into account personal essays, transcripts, letters of recommendation, and in some cases, auditions, creative portfolios, or interviews. You can apply to the new school using the common application under the new school for all programs. And you can see here some of our requirements. We offer merit-based scholarships and financial aid to more than 80% of our enrolled students. All admitted students will automatically be considered for a merit-based scholarship, so this is not something that you have to apply to throughout your application process. You're automatically considered at the time of admission for merit-based scholarship. Our deadlines are November 1st for early action, December 1st for classical music, and January 15th for regular decision. And if you want to know more, feel free to reach out to us at admission@newschool.edu. I'll be sure to put the email in the chat as soon as I wind up the presentation. Feel free to ask us any questions in there, and my colleagues can direct your questions to the appropriate admissions counselor. And also don't forget to stay in touch on social media. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can see some of our handles here. So the New School Welcome Center is actually run by students at the new school, I believe. So that's a really fun account to follow as well. All right, thank you.
Thank you, New School. Up next, we have Texas Christian University.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Let me go ahead and pull up my presentation right here. Awesome. All right. So yeah, I am Dalton Goodyear, and I am here with Texas Christian University. We are a mid-sized university that is located in Fort Worth, Texas. And I really think that the best way to kind of describe what separates TCU and what makes us the school that we are is to talk about kind of what it means to be that mid-sized school. So we have about 11,000 students total. About 9,500 of those are undergrads. So we're very heavily focused on that undergraduate student experience. But what I really love about that as well is that we are able to offer students the community feeling and the relational aspect that you're going to get from a smaller school. We're also able to offer students the programming, the opportunities, and really just the experiences that you get from a larger institution. So when I talk about that small school feel, a really big part of that comes from having a very personalized classroom experience. We've got this 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio that you'll see here on the screen, but that also means that our students are really tight-knit outside of that as well. TCU is the #3 school in the entire country for student engagement. So this is students getting outside of class and doing things that we offer on campus, whether attending one of the 750 different events that we host every year, going to our athletics events that are totally free, or just being involved in the different clubs and organizations that we have on campus. When I was a student at TCU, I never once had a class that was taught by a graduate assistant or by a TA. I knew all my professors, and just as importantly, all my professors knew me. So whether you're inside a class or walking around campus, being at a place where people are going to know who you are and you really feel embedded to the culture and the experience is a big part of what we offer. You'll notice that we have that 91% retention rate, and that actually went up this last year. So that's something that we're really proud of, is that despite everything that's going on in the world at large, we are not only bringing in these great students to come to TCU, but once they're here, they're really finding that sense of community. They're finding their home here. So again, that's kind of the small school side of things, but we do also offer all those big school opportunities as well. So academically, TCU is a top 100 university. We offer over 130 different major areas of study. While athletically, we are a Division I school, and we compete in the Big 12 conference. As you can see here, we're the smallest school in the Big 12 by a pretty significant margin. But in coming to TCU, you are coming to a place that really offers just the school spirit, the pageantry, and just kind of the energy and excitement that you're going to get from kind of that big time athletics program. Even beyond that, we have a lot of other resources to offer to our students. So we do a great job with our research and creative activity. So for example, if you want to be a doctor, you can come to TCU and you can do biomedical research in a lab with an actual professor from the beginning of your time here. We do the same thing even if you're not in one of those STEM related fields. So if, for example, you're a fine artist, you come in and you actually get to perform both at TCU and in the greater DFW community from the beginning of your time here. We also do a great job with our internships and making sure that our students are getting that real world experience. Our career services center is actually ranked top 10 in the entire country. And then lastly, with a $1.7 billion endowment, that just means that we have a lot of resources that we can provide to our students. We've had a ton of construction happening over the last couple of years, so campus looks really new and really nice. That also means that we are, for example, able to offer an additional $50 million in financial aid this last year, again, in response to that pandemic. So having those resources is something that is just really beneficial for our students in that way. For our academics, like I said earlier, TCU does offer over 130 different areas of study. Every single one of those will be housed in one of the different colleges or schools that we have here on campus. So you have a ton of different opportunities to really focus on what you want to study. More than half of our students do double major. At the same time, we don't set these different colleges and schools up as barriers to keep people out. So you can study across those different schools and really make that degree look however you want for it to look. I did mention that our Career Services Center is ranked top 10 in the entire country. We have a couple dozen different Fortune 500 companies that call DFW home. We also will have more than half of our students who will do 2 or more internships, and more than 80% of our students will do at least one of those. This last year, we also gave out almost $400,000 to students who are doing a low-paying or unpaid internship, so you don't have to worry about the financial piece of that. And then lastly, just being here in DFW it's great for us, and we really do love it here. DFW is the 4th largest metropolitan area in the country. Fort Worth by itself is actually the 13th biggest city in the United States. So in coming here, you're stepping into a great job market, a lot of opportunities to get that experience as an undergrad, but it's also a place that offers dozens of professional and semi-professional sports teams, great arts and cultural districts, and things of that nature. So if you do have questions, I'm going to drop my contact information in the chat, and would love to get to know you a little bit better through there. Once again, we're just so glad that you're here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, TCU. Up next, University of Northern Colorado.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is John Myers. I'm the Assistant Director of Regional Recruitment here at the University of Northern Colorado. So thank you for joining all of us tonight, and thank you to all the other presenters for your great presentations about your institutions. It's great to learn myself about schools around the country and the regions. So I'm with the University of Northern Colorado. I do serve as a representative for Nebraska. One of my colleagues does work with Kansas students, but certainly happy to work. We work as a team, so happy to work with anybody that may have questions. You'll get my contact information at the end of the presentation, so certainly look forward to that. So University of Northern Colorado, I'll refer to it as UNC for the evening. Founded in 1889, it's been around a little while. We are a mid-sized university, as similar in size to the other schools that have already presented here this evening as well. About 10,500 students roughly. About 8,000 of those are undergraduate, about 3,000 graduate. 91% of our students are full-time students at the university. So we do have and this kind of breaks down a little bit more of that number. Just to kind of be able to show you on this slide, this kind of shows you our size, and it breaks it down for you a little bit. So we do have Bears, that's our mascot from 47 states and 41 countries. A few things on here that we are really proud of. 31% of our UNC first year students do identify as students of color, and 43% are first gen students. So we do feel like we do service those students. Being a student first institution, we service those students very well across the board. So a few things here as far as what you can do. We are one of 3 in-state research schools in the state of Colorado. We are the smallest of the 3, but you can complete research for outside clients in our social research lab. We are one of the only schools in the region, certainly, to have a cancer center on our campus. So folks can work with our chemotherapy patients on our exercise-based rehab program through our cancer center. Multi-million-dollar portfolio in the student and foundation funds finance class, which is under our Monfort College of Business program as well. We also have very strong music and theater programs. You can audition and work alongside professional actors in the oldest professional summer stock theater west of Mississippi. So just a few things you may not find in a brochure. It may not come in a conversation. So, or you can report for our 100-year-old newspaper. So the options are endless. So certainly would love to have something for everybody on our campus. So a few things here as you look through some of these numbers. I just want to share a couple things with you that's really important to me about the university as regards to our education program. I think you can get 4 things, and I think these are kind of foundations, and this is what kind of sets us apart from other institutions. You benefit from innovative teaching. Teaching is in our DNA. We were founded as an education college back in 1889, and so we still do that very strongly here now today. In education, you'll see here is one of our top programs as well. But you learn from the experts. Other folks have mentioned that you don't learn from graduate assistants and that kind of thing. Same is true here. You have a relationship with your professors. Most of what we do is experiential education. It's right in the center of the screen there, mid-sized experiential education. So a lot of doing through the classroom, learning by doing, and that's a really important piece of it. Number 2, you'll cultivate your unique potential. So UNC's just right size and unique approach to education means you can explore and find out where your passions are and then pursue those things. We know not everybody knows what they want to do right now, today, but they've got some interests and ideas. And so once you come and explore those things and those opportunities on our college campus. Number 3, you'll grow outside the classroom. So UNC is a leader in the community and civic engagement. So we are in a community of about 100,000. So I'll talk about the community of Greeley here in just a minute as well. But the growth outside the classroom is also very important to us. Number 4, you'll succeed with individualized support. So our faculty will know you by name and encourage you to encourage exploration and education. So we're students first, and that's what we're about. We're here for students and want to be able to have students be successful in the classroom, outside the classroom, and beyond. We are a Division I school as well. We compete in the Big Sky Conference. So we have a full program and other programs that were able to go this year. We're excited to get some of those athletic programs back in action this fall. And as on the bottom of the screen here, you'll see the top 5 majors: business administration, nursing, elementary education, psychology, and sport and exercise science. So a bit of everything across the board. In our 100 undergraduate programs, you have the choice to choose lots of different options throughout the university as well. 17:1 is our student faculty ratio. Average class size is at 27. We do have 12 research centers and institutes on our campus as well. Now, I did mention a little bit about our city. We are in Greeley, Colorado. So Greeley is a town or a city of 100,000. We are about 2.5 hours from skiing, snowboarding from the Great Rocky Mountains, about an hour and a half from the Rocky Mountain National Park, and an hour north of Denver or the airport. So pretty centrally located in the city. It's nice to be out away from the mountains. You can look back at them and see their beauty, and then you can get there in just a short amount of time as well. So we are in a great city. We have a great relationship with our city. We are also home to the Greeley Jazz Festival, which is the UNC partners with them to do it's the largest event of its kind in the country. So look forward to working with you more throughout the process. But here is my contact information. My email address is here. We are accepting applications still, and we also have scholarships for students with 3.0 and higher GPA, and we all have in-person and virtual information sessions available.
Thank you, University of Northern Colorado. With that said, that concludes the presentation portion of our college fair today, but we are going to move on to the Q&A portion. So feel free to drop any questions that you may have in that Q&A section. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and pose a question to all of our amazing presenters. So I would like to encourage our presenters to return. Feel free to turn your cameras on, and I'll go ahead and read our first question. Also, you will respond in the order in which you presented. The first question reads, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
My favorite event and tradition on campus has to be our welcome week. So the first week of August, when students are moving in, or excuse me, the 3rd or 4th week of August, depending on when move-in is, our students will come onto campus. You are in a group called Towering Traditions. So you have an upperclassman who is your leader and walks you through the orientation process. So we have all sorts of fun events as you are getting adjusted to campus. And our move-in is another one of my favorite things during that welcome week. You pull up to campus, unlock your car, and in about 30 seconds, your car is cleared. So our student leaders move you into your dorm, and normally the jumper cables and your umbrella make it up to your room, but your stuff beats you to your room. It's a really fun experience. So I really love welcome week at Belmont.
For Wichita State, I love our Hump Day camel ride. So you got it, Hump Day, Wednesday. You could see a camel on campus and get to ride it for free, just because we like to offer students something fun and free. So just kind of a really different example, but one that I always love to talk about.
My favorite tradition at CUC is easily a small basketball tournament called CIT. So Concordia is in a university system with 8 other colleges across the country. And so the 4 colleges that are located in the Midwest all converge on one of the campuses every 4 years, or every year, but each college takes its own turn every 4 years. And so the basketball teams, cheer teams, dance teams, pep bands, all converge on one campus for about 4 days straight. And it's kind of our own little mini version of March Madness. So that's a lot of fun. But yeah, CIT is definitely my favorite.
So at the new school, we have a similar tradition to Belmont University. We actually have an annual block party at the start of each school year, and that usually has refreshments, food, a photo booth, henna, caricature artists. It's even had a rock climbing wall in the past before, so that's definitely something really fun to partake in and a great start to each school year.
So at TCU, we also have kind of like a welcome week and everything like that. But I want to focus on some of the things that we do at the end of their time. So the night before graduation, we have an enormous table. So we do one giant dinner for the entire graduating class. It stretches across like the entire commons. So you've got over 1,000 people eating at literally the same table. And that's kind of the official part of it. But then unofficially, most of those students will go and they will spend the night at the football stadium, and then they catch the sunrise on the very last day together, kind of like as one big thing that they get to do as a class. So yeah, it's a really special time, and I think it's a great way to kind of end up your time at TCU.
Awesome. Similar to what's been shared, one of my favorite traditions at UNC at the beginning of the year is our new student week orientation process. We've got a taste of UNC, so a chance to food vendors and food trucks and folks on campus that prepare food for students to sample and enjoy. So that's one of my favorite things on campus.
Wonderful. Thank you all for responding. With that said, that concludes our virtual college fair for today. I want to thank all of our amazing presenters for joining us, but I also want to thank our attendees for joining us as well. A couple closing announcements. As you exit from the Zoom session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 4 questions, but please respond. It's extremely helpful for us as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings in the future. Also want to remind you to sign up for additional sessions by visiting that registration site. And finally, a recording will be made available within about a week or so. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and I hope everyone has a great evening.
Thank you.